Hey families, welcome to the Lab Online today. My name is Kieran and I wanted to share something super cool, and that's our Instagram page. Parents, this is for you, and it's a one-stop shop for all these awesome resources that can make you the best parent that you can be. Plus, it's also the best way to keep up to date with all things happening in the lab. If you want access to that, go to Instagram or Facebook and go to The Lab Kids and find us on there. We're so excited to help you be the best parent that you can be. So if you want access to all of that, hit us up at The Lab Kids. It's all for us, but enjoy the rest of today's service. See you later.
Hey families, my name is Andrew and I'm so glad that you're here. We're spending this month talking about our rules for life. Play well, finish strong. It's all about responsibility, which means showing you can be trusted with what is expected of you. There are some things that God has made you responsible for, and if you follow these rules for life, you'll be on the fast track for living the best life possible. Wait, I'm supposed to do the memory verse now?
Yeah, that's time.
Memory verse is so much work. We have a memory verse that goes hand in hand with this topic. Why don't you and your family all read it together? Suppose you can be trusted with something very little. Then you can also be trusted with something very large. Luke 16:10a.
Andrew? Andrew?
Memory verse, good job, guys. Today, we're talking about how we're made to live easily.
That's not what we're talking about at all.
What do you mean?
We're talking about working hard.
Our bottom line's about working hard?
Yeah.
Are you for real?
I'm for real.
But hard work is hard. I just want to lay down, put my feet up, take a nap, eat some food. You're telling me that working is something I'm made for?
Yeah.
Well, how about you all take a quick second and ask your family about something that they have to do that's hard. Well, everyone, I guess we're talking about working hard, and I think I have to learn that with you. So let's jump into our story about how maybe you and I were made to work hard. We're gonna cut out that part about me being lazy, right?
Totally, for sure.
Okay, good.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verses 6 through 8.
King Solomon was young when he became ruler of Israel after his father David. One night, God spoke to him in a dream.
Ask for anything you want me to give you.
What? Solomon had just been given the greatest gift of all time. He could have asked for anything. Unlimited money, the power to defeat all of his enemies, or even to be the best loved, longest living king of all time. Instead, though, Solomon made a different ask.
Lord, you have now made me king, but I'm only a little child. I don't know how to carry out my duties, so give me a heart that understands. Then I can rule over your people. I can tell the difference between what is right and what is wrong.
Solomon asked for wisdom, and God gave it to him. In fact, Solomon became known as the wisest man to ever live. Over the course of his life, he shared many wise sayings that were later recorded in the book of Proverbs.
These sayings are to help people do what is just and fair, to help young people learn wisdom. Only fools refuse to listen and learn.
The wisdom recorded in Proverbs gives godly advice about nearly everything, from using words wisely to staying away from trouble. But the most famous passages talk about the value of hard work.
You people who don't want to work, think about the ant. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, it has no leader or ruler, but it stores up its food in summer. It gathers its food at harvest time.
When was the last time you paid attention to an ant, other than the one that you were going to squash on the kitchen floor? To better understand what Solomon means about work, well, I think it's time we take a closer look. Did you know that there are about 1 million ants on Earth for every single human? Yikes! My skin is crawling right now. But just look at how amazing these little guys are. Like Solomon said, nobody lays out a set of rules for them. Nobody offers them an allowance or more screen time if they finish their work. God made them in such an incredible way that they stick with it and get the job done. In fact, some ants can lift up to 50 times their own weight. If you were that strong, you could lift an entire car. And ants use that super strength to store up their food, just like we see in Proverbs. And ants also work smart. They leave a special trail of chemicals, called pheromones, that tells them where they've been so they don't get lost or repeat themselves. And ants are incredibly creative. They actually farm aphids in order to have a constant supply of the honeydew aphids release. And the ants' creativity doesn't stop there. In times of flooding, ants will even protect the queen by forming a lifeboat with their own bodies. Just like Solomon reminds us, ants do whatever it takes to gather up the food they need and to protect their colony. They know how to get the job done, and that's with only about 250,000 brain cells. But you? God made you with 10 million brain cells. He's given you everything you need to work strong, smart, and creatively. And because God has given us so much, there's so much more we can do. In the New Testament, Luke records some of Jesus' words.
Much will be required of everyone who has been given much.
You are creative and strong. You have a brain that works like no one else's. You are determined. And most of all, you are created in God's image. That means that you can work hard at whatever it takes to show love to God and the people He's made. Sometimes that might look like helping raise funds to provide clean water for kids on the other side of the world. Sometimes that might look like cleaning your room before your mom has to remind you 5 times. Or working hard to help your little sister to build an epic Lego palace. Whatever your work, remember Solomon's wisdom.
You people who don't want to work, think about the ant. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, it has no leader or ruler, but it stores up its food in summer. It gathers its food at harvest time.
Be wise. Work hard. God has given you everything you need to follow through.
I think we all learned something today. Like, do you ever feel like work is just too hard and we can't do it? Like, instead of cleaning my room, what if I just sat in the middle of the mess? You know, I should probably do the hard work to clean this up. This is terrible. Well, you know what? Just because something's hard doesn't mean that it's bad. Imagine what would happen to our ant friends if they didn't do anything. They wouldn't have enough food to eat and last the winter. Well, the same is true for us. God made us to do some incredible things, and work isn't a punishment. It's what makes things satisfying to accomplish, like finishing a huge puzzle or completing that math problem you weren't sure you could do. Now, Pierre, I think the people at home need it. An epic pep talk. So turn on the most epic music you can find, Pierre, and here we go. My name is Motivation Bob. first name motivation, last name motivation. And I'm here to motivate you because I do hard things. You are made to do hard things. I can tell right now you're sitting on a couch. Get up off that couch. I want you to start doing push-ups. Do the hardest things you think I'm doing. Do a 1 million piece puzzle. Run 500,000 miles, okay? Because we are made to do difficult things. Motivation Bob out. So next time you're in the position to do something hard work, don't complain about it. Think about it like your own personal mission for God, a task that you get to do. Why don't you pray with me and we'll learn this together. Dear God, thank you so much that we can go to the lab online and learn about you. Thank you that you've given us this cool part of ourselves that we get to tap into about hard work and being able to accomplish things. Thank you so much for all the many gifts and blessings that you've given us. I pray that as we go into this week, you'd be with us and keep us safe. We love you so much, God. In your name we pray. Amen. Next up, we have some discussion questions. So, turn to somebody in the room. If there's nobody in the room, call somebody and call your mom or your dad or your brother or your sister and be like, hey guys, there's some discussion questions for us to do. Then you can maybe even teach them a thing or two because you were paying attention to the service today. After that, we'll have some worship. So you're gonna need to get up for that, probably stretch and get ready to go for worship. Well, that's all for me this week. Have a great week. Bye!
This is my faith, this is my focus, all of my days. I know where my hope is, I'll live it loud, I'll shout the chorus, because I know, oh, you're always for us. And even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe. And even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe. And keep on looking to you for where I'm going, knowing you go there too. I'll keep on looking to you. I fix my eyes on you. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. I fix my eyes on you. This is my faith, this is my focus, all of my days, I know where my hope is, I'll live it loud, I shout the chorus, because I know, oh, you're always for us, and even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe, and even when it's hard for me to see, I will trust in you, I will believe, and keep on looking to you for where I'm going, knowing you go there too. I'll keep on looking to you. I'll fix my eyes on you. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. You are my only focus. I fix my eyes on you, oh yeah. You ready? Come on, let's go. Hands in the air, hands in the air. I know you're there, I know you're there. Anywhere, oh. Anywhere. I fix my eyes on you, Hands in the air, hands in the air. I know you're there, I know you're there. Anywhere. I fix my eyes But look into you. I fix my eyes on you. You are my all. You are my all. You is all. You are my all. You is. I fix my eyes on you, on you, on you.